So it's been a while since I spoke on Reddit. I've had a hard time coming out with the truth, and honestly I've lost sleep because I lied about my brother. I said before that someone I know killed themselves right in front of me. That wasn't a lie. But what I didn't say was that it was my foster brother. So I'm sorry for the lie. Another I said was that I had a company while in the military. Impossible. I started it after I finished my contract. I didn't know how to fully come out with the truth. Yes, I grew up in a foster home. But a year ago, I spoke on my experience on marriage. To me, marriage ain't nothing but a waste of time, waste of money, and it's heavily one-sided. It's a contract that destroys men's lives. There is no benefit for us. I wish I saw this before I was dumb enough to marry without having my ex sign a prenup. But you have to fail in order to learn from your mistakes. The reason I'm coming out with the truth is because ever since my ex came out with the truth, many PPL has messaged me asking me. I got so many messages and I can't keep up with all of them. I'm too busy for all that, but I truly appreciate all the amazing messages. You guys are amazing. They tell me, my story is the saddest they heard, which of course it's just an expression. That's not true. This isn't an update because honestly there's no need for one. But this to inform PPL why I'm the way I am. I grew up in a foster home. Ever since I was a baby. About 6 months old. I grew up with the man that fathered the girls I'm raising. He's my foster brother. We grew up with the most heartless foster parents. We got beat for the tiniest reasons. I accidentally dropped glass of water. Foster father got pissed and punched me in the face. I was 6 and I remember it like it was yesterday. Foster father always cheated and beat his wife, and my foster mother took it out on me mostly. She used to light out her cigarettes on my face. She said to me once, "I never seen someone with gray eyes. They're beautiful," then punch me face because of jealousy, I guess. Who the hell gets jealous because someone has a rare eye color? Yeah, I have gray eyes, who gives a shit? There were times when my foster father got drunk and started whipping me with a spiky branch and would ask me, "How does that feel? What, you're crying? Men don't cry. Be a man." I was 8. I was forced to say it was my playing and I accidentally got stuck in a thorn bush. I remember Josh, my daughter's father, stealing a chocolate bar because he was hungry. He begged me not to tell. Foster parents found out about him stealing. I got the punishment and not him because I withheld information. They made me put my hands on the door frame of the car. They slammed the door shut on my hands. My hands were locked, being crushed, and I'm screaming. Foster was pointing at me, speaking to Josh. I honestly couldn't hear him because the pain was excruciating that I just couldn't hear anything but feel pain. I remember 1 second felt like an eternity. The pain was indescribable. I was forced to tell child services that it was an accident playing with my brothers. But throughout the fear and painful experience being raised by these people, the worst part was that they told me was that my parents dropped me off in dumpster. That they hated me and that I was a mistake. I believed it and I grew up hateful. Foster father always told me, "Never believe a woman. They're evil liars. They will manipulate you for their own benefit." That even Eve lied to Adam and manipulated him to betray God. He told me, "They're ungrateful and will always want something better." He also told us that if any of us ever became a disappointment and come out as gay, he'll shoot us himself. One day my other foster brother woke us up. He was always doing drugs and drinking. He was told the same as me. That nobody loves him and that he was never going to be anything special in life. That's a damn lie. That man was incredibly skilled in drawing. Till this day, I haven't seen art like his. I'm not saying it because I lost my brother, I'm saying it because his art was outstanding. One night he woke us up and said to blindfold ourselves. Josh and I said no because we sensed something strange. He got tired of asking and pointed a gun at us. He started crying and said he's helping us, that we need to get out of here. This life isn't for us. We begged him not to shoot. He said if you scream you die. I wanted to take the gun away from him. The gun belonged to my foster father. We finally convinced him to stop pointing the gun at us, then he pointed it toward his brain, and before I knew it, in a blink of an eye, my foster brother took his own life in front of us. Josh and I were pretty screwed in the head after that. I remember in the funeral, foster father told us that he killed himself and he's burning in hell because the Lord shows no mercy for that kind of act. Let's skip to when I finally got the hell out of that house. Anybody heard of the phrase, leave and don't look back? Yeah, that's me and Josh. I finished high school, but Josh never did. He said school was always too hard. Everything good in life is hard. You want a job, you have to earn it. You want a degree? You have work for it. You want money, you have to bust your ass. I ended up getting a driving bus job while going to school. I rented my own apartment. Nothing pretty, but it worked. I started dating someone for the second time. The first time was back in high school. Cheated on me with someone else. I ended up beating the guy right in front of her, and I smacked her for cheating on me. Sure, I'm going to get hate for this, but honestly that's what I was taught. What are you going to do? Cancel me? I thought I was supposed to demand respect from my woman, but she did that to him and herself. About 5 years ago, I did go to her neighborhood, hoping to see her, and I did. She had a beautiful baby girl with her at that point, and I just wanted to apologize to her. She didn't apologize for her betrayal, but that's alright. I wasn't surprised. The only time I seen a woman apologized for anything was my ex-wife because of guilt. Second girl cheated on me as well. Got pregnant by someone else. This time I didn't put my hands on anyone, although I wanted to. I moved her into my home, I helped her with what she needed help with. What can I do? At least she told me the truth, people said. 3 years later, I met my final ex. Man, this woman was so beautiful to me. She looked like Gal Gadot. Incredibly smart, gorgeous like I never seen before, with a bit scary. I always love me a girl that scares the crap out of me. I don't know why. I just love feisty women. But wow. I rarely got attached to anyone. But this time I couldn't help myself. I was younger and incredibly naive. I did the dumbest things for her. I always made her dinner, I always took care of her when she was on her month, I rubbed her feet all the damn time, goodness, I even crafted the wedding ring myself. I made it out of tungsten with 3 pieces of sapphire. It was a grayish-black ring with a big piece in the middle and a smaller piece on the side of the big piece. It took me 2 months to perfect the ring. I always said that if you're not happy with your work, how can someone else like your work? So I made it as best as I can. To the point I fell in love with the damn thing. I was honestly the biggest simp. I was told if I wanted love, I had to work for it. I honestly regret being that nice to anyone. Never again will I be that brain-dead person. I ended up graduating with her. Got in the military, I managed to save up a good amount of money to put down a down payment for my new home. All that was missing was a family. I always said I would never raise my family like my foster parents did. I would never abandon my family like my parents, nor would I put hate in my kids' hearts. One day I came home. Found my wife with my foster brother. The best man from the wedding, the man that suffered with and grew up with. Found out the 2 beautiful girls that I'm raising weren't mine, and she was pregnant with another baby that also belonged to him. I grew an unbelievable amount of hate. I hated everybody except for the 2 princesses that calls me daddy. I promised them I would never leave them, and I'm keeping my promise for as long as I live. They bring the best out of me. Without them I have no soul. They call me every night to tell me they love me and tells me I'm their dad and no one else. The amount of love I have for my girls is indescribable. It's crazy because there are times that I have so much pain and rage in me, and one glimpse at them and I feel nothing but joy and proudness. I love them more than I can possibly explain. When my girls brings their friends over to my place, the friends asks me if I'm related to Jason Momoa because I have his kind of long hair but lighter and gray eyes. I'm not related to Jason Momoa. One day I'm in Walmart with the girls. They were about 5 at the time and someone stared at me as if they never seen a human being before. I flat out asked, "WTF are you looking at?" She said, "I'm sorry. You just look like my brother." I have to admit, this woman looked exactly like me. Tears running down her face. She said, "You were just a baby." My girls are asking me, "Daddy, who's that?" I said, "I don't know." Long story short, I ended up taking a DNA test. The resemblance between me and that woman was astounding. That woman is my aunt. I couldn't believe it. I learned what really happened to my parents. My parents died in a car accident in 1985. I was 6 months old. I had 2 other siblings. 6 years girl, 3-year-old boy, and me 6 months old. I was the only one that survived the accident because of the seat belt. My siblings weren't wearing them. Parents always put the seat belts on your kids or make sure they put it on themselves. Had my parents done that, I would probably still have my siblings. My aunt brought me to their graves. They were buried in Calvary Cemetery in Queens. Part of me wishes the accident would have taken my life as well. But I have a feeling God let me here for a reason. I saved so many lives in the military, and I did it again with a boy that was metaphorically robbed from me. I have no love for people in this world. But I know I can still do right. So for those you who was abused in any way and you feel like you have the right to hurt others, you're just as bad as the one who hurt you. You don't have to trust no one because I know damn well I don't, but if someone like me who grew up with so much anger and hate and I can do the right thing, anyone can. I was told that my parents were extremely loving parents. That my father was so clingy to me. It's nice to know that I was loved and cared for. I was always told that they just left me because they hated me. My foster brother took his own life because of lies that were fed into him. There were times that he whispered, "Dad is going to cut it off." Like he would just flat out whisper that and I would catch that. I asked what he said and he would start trembling and say nothing. I always thought to myself that he might have been gay. Gay or not, that was my brother. I do miss watching him draw. The work was amazing. Those foster parents deserves the worst of the worst. Foster father died naturally. I know he's burning in hell and I'm glad to know that. Mother is alone and I meant it when I said I left without turning back. Today my girls are almost at the double-digit age. I miss when my babies were so small. People asks me what would I rather have, money or family. I got money. I got so much that I can't possibly spend it in one lifetime. The more homes I sell, the more money I get. The more money I get, the more homes I build. I have 4 homes in 4 different states. Do I need 4 homes? No. But I'm constantly on a plane, so why not? I don't give a damn about money. It just makes you miserable. I was happier when I was married and damn near broke. But being married is such a dangerous thing nowadays. Women will backstab you and rob you for everything you got because they can. A prenup is definitely needed nowadays. Not only that, there are so many transgender out there that are extremely deceptive. It's to the point I need to require any woman I'm dating to get a DNA test. Because if I end up sleeping with a man pretending to be a woman, I'm going to lose my mind, and I might end up killing said person. That is disgusting. If a trans ended up telling me they're trans, I will respect that and we'll go about our way separately. I have no problems with trans or gays. In fact, many gay people bought many of my homes. Who cares? So for those of you who will get offended and calls me transphobic, SMD. I'll give you something to be offended about. Fellas, always have a lawyer present when she's signing the agreement, and always make sure she signs it before the day of the wedding, because it won't hold up in court. People think they're slick when they try to sign it in the day of wedding. Ladies, this for you as well. Men can also be gold diggers. Never let your fiancé use you for your money. Now, I looked over this entire thing. I made it sound like women aren't to be trusted. Ladies, one thing you have to know is that though there are good women out there, the majority aren't like you. The majority overvalues themselves and ends up leaving because good guy was too nice, or just not up to their standards. There's a reason why 80% of divorces are filed by women. It's always about the women. Men love women for who they are, women loves men for what they can provide. For women, it's not about who they can finish the struggle line with. It's about which men can finish the struggle so the women can have an easier life. There are good women out there. They're extremely hard to find. For women, look at your friend zone. Stop asking for a good man when you keep pushing them away or keep friend zoning them. Us men need women and vice versa. I do not speak for all men. I've seen some disgusting men. I've seen an old man forcing himself on a 4-year-old girl. I seen men do unthinkable things outside this country. Women may be the reason to such a high divorce rate, but men are the primary reason why so many lives are lost. We all do bad things. It's just up to us to do the right thing, and many chooses to go the way do the wrong thing. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. See you in the next one.